Stephen Turner Ministries. And if you like that, that's an original composition. It's called Elohim. Listen, you can give us a call at 1-410-302-2737. That's 1-410-302-2737, or go to our website at www.stephenturnerministries.com. Yeah. Hi, I'm Pastor Steve, Music Man Turner, and I'm a proud member of the Christian Authors on Tour, and I'm grateful to be here at the Harlem Book Fair, and I'm grateful for them allowing me to be here. And so I want to talk about the book that I am actually author of. It's called The Other Pulpit, Life Lessons of a Leader, and it actually chronicles the true story of history here in Baltimore, Black history, I want to say that. And so in 1946, young pastor Bishop Winfield Amos Showell of the First Apostolic Faith Institutional Church wanted to do something to promote God in the community and in the city, and he was led to do something radical. And that was to go to the studios of WANN Annapolis, in segregated Annapolis, to actually start a radio ministry, something unheard of. And he wanted to have a combination for a 1-2 punch. He wanted a choir that would sing before him before he began to preach. And so what he did was he went to my aunt and asked her if she could actually help, because helping was a part of the ministry of our family, the Turner family. That's how the church got started, with Bishop Turpin going to my great aunt, asking to use, and she volunteered her living room to get the church started. And so when they came to my grandmother and asked her would my mother be able to help, she said she volunteered her. Yes, she can. And that's not what she wanted to do, because she had other plans to work with the caravans, which have tried to recruit her. She could sing, good God Almighty. And so at age 15, she went and got her family, made up of singers, and formed the radio chorus. And they sang for 46 years, traveling across the USA, traveling as far and going, even singing at Carnegie Hall. And so it's very important. I began to be on the choir and sang for 14 years, and I began to play for the choir for the last 7 years. That's really what this book is about, talking about our battles when she's trying to make a leader, battles when she's trying to make a pastor, our battles when she's trying to put wisdom into me and trying to get me to do and conform. I didn't want to do it. And so we go through the history of the book. She met Martin Luther King, as we talk about that, the 1968 riots. I remember those. And so these are historical things that have happened and occurred. We'll get into some of our lessons. There are 11 lessons that you can use for business, personal, commercial, private, church. Doesn't matter. It'll help you. Life lessons. And so this book is about 46 pages of pure power. And sure, you can handle it. And so my point is that in lesson number 9 is called the Strap Sermon. Oh, it sounds just like it means strap sermon. That means I was doing something I had no business doing, and Mama had to correct me. And she did it it sounded like she was a preacher. I didn't know she went to seminary, because I've never seen anything like that. But that's how it sounded to me as she was developing my rear guard, as they say. And so lesson number 10 actually talks about the benefits of being in church, and the benefits of following what God is saying to do. And so I just had to do and learn these lessons, learn to be persistently humble, which is lesson number 3, where that just because you have a title, just because you have some gifts, doesn't mean that you have arrived. And it just means that you should be humble. Because when I was learning classical music, someone took the sheet of music away from me, and I couldn't play a thing. So I had to learn that I wasn't all that. And so God has to learn and help you to keep you humble, and that's important to do. So the book is historic. It's of great value, and it's something that's just will give you lots of laughter, lots of humor, unexpected humor. So I would advise you to read it at work. It might get you in trouble. You need to read this book at the fireplace, read it at a campsite, read it at a convocation, read it in a hotel room. Just enjoy it and share it with some other folks because it's a book that's very relevant. It's got a lot of history in it, and it may surprise you of all the joy and the life and legacy of leadership. I never knew that my mother was so iconic until later in life, and so I'm the product of her investment. And as you can see, and as you'll read, in the end, God won out, and she also won out because she gave me back to God, and that's what this book is really all about. And so it also talks about, which is the main impetus, about the other pulpit of wherever you are. That is where God is using you. That is your pulpit. And so, and I guess the other underlying question, backdrop, is the lessons of and the life of looking at my father from a distance, not being able to embrace him openly because he belonged to someone else. And so this question is asked, does God use spiritual biohazard waste where folks think that because you are illegitimate from another relationship and not from the first family, that you have no purpose? I'm here to tell you that you have purpose, you have goals. God will still use you, and he will manufacture some greatness in you. And that's what this book is all about. And you can't put it down once you pick it up because it has a lot of nuggets in it for wisdom, and that's important. Lots of historical value, and this is a book that should actually be on your shelf, should be in your collection item, should be in your library, and I encourage you to get it today. And so when we think of Black history and Black culture and Black literature, we want to also think of the other pulpit, life lessons of a leader. We want to think about that and give that some great credence and preference today. And I really appreciate this opportunity to be here. And I've been playing music for about 53 years. And I started at age 4, and I started classical music. And so now I'm in gospel, and that's where I aim to stay. And so I want to encourage you to get this book. Go to www.stephenturnerministries.com, www.stephenturnerministries.com, or www.jnfenterprises.com. If you can't wait, call me at 1-410-302-2737. And that's important. Looking forward to that call. Looking forward to talking to you.